Hello and welcome back to the Shoestring Racing YouTube channel. In this video we're going to be trying to get Scruff, the budget challenge truck, ready for Red Winch Stampede. Got a long list of jobs to do, so let's get into it, I suppose. So we've got a list of jobs that we've got to do to get ourselves ready for Stampede. First of which is the most important, which is one that we have started with, is getting those shock tabs on and mounted to fit the air shocks. Once we've got the air shocks fitted, we can then do bump stops, and then once we've got the bump stops on, we can go and get them filled with nitrogen, ready to rock and roll. And then we've got to do some wiring. I want to add some new tubes on here, which might get done first, or it'll get done in some order. Want to get that done. We've got to do some wiring. We've got another winch to go on the rear, which needs the rear tray needs to be modified, and there's going to be a load of other stuff that comes up as we get into it. We've got some more bits coming from Giggle Pin and Red Winch. Obviously we're going to Red Winch Stampede, so we're trying to use them as well. I'd love to work with Red Winch, but I just don't have the budget for a Red Winch. I'd really love one. But, you know, Red Winch, if you're watching, hello, we're not that far away. We're only in Dorset, so, yeah, please? I don't know. But yeah, we're going to crack into it. I'll show you what progress I've made since we last spoke. And yeah, let's just getting this truck ready, because I'm swiftly running out of time. It's really clicking on down now. I think it's about 2 weeks from the point of recording this, and we are not ready at all. So let's have a look-see. So from the last video you would have seen, nearly tripped over the welder. So from the last video you would have seen, I would have mounted this shock tab and tacked in that shock tab. Well, they're both kind of tacked in. They're now fully welded, top and bottom. I've also come over and I've fully welded top and bottom on this one. That one needs some more red oxide on it by the looks of things. But yeah, they are on, so rear shocks are ready to go. Bump stop situation. They are too high, so I'm going to have to either cut them off and move them to there to have a bump on the axle, or come up with something. I might just have to bite the bullet and try and cut those off, but someone in their infinite wisdom really welded them on, so it might take some work to get them off, but we'll give it a go regardless. Obviously, I've got to get that winch in there, which is bigger. It's the same as what we've got on the front, basically. It's down there in a pile somewhere. I got some new switches coming from Giggle Pin to replace these, because we found that the sand gets stuck in these and then they lock on. So I've just got some little toggle switches, same as I have on the interior. I'd also like, if I have time, to flip this rad around to have the fans on the rear. I don't know why I didn't do it in the first place, but there we are. I've also got some tube here, which I want to put these tubes in here, because we found we were getting stuck on the back of the cab on trees and such. So I want to put those on. Gives us a bit more extra protection as well and help us slide past some of these trees. Because yeah, it caused us an issue in a couple of places while we're at Belrood. I've also got some new straps coming from Giggle Pin and some other bits. But yeah, let's crack into it. And I guess next is a bit of paint on there. I might try and chop these guys off, so I'll probably put you guys on a time lapse or cut to once I've kind of got them off, and we'll see what we're going to do. Yeah, let's do it. So now I've got the brackets on all four on painted. I'm using the heat because it is like 32 degrees today. We're not built for this heat. So my plan now is to get even hotter and make these bars up. I've adjusted the bump stops down a bit. We're going to run them like that for Stampede, see what they do. They have got to go slightly lower, but I'll do that shortly once I sort that out. But next I'm going to use this length for steel and put in some bars here, so they'll go from about here somewhere up to this corner to stop those trees getting stuck in there. So let's get into that. Also, just want to take a moment to thank Gigglepin and Red Winch for sending out so many stickers with their stuff. So I've got a Red Winch, I believe this is the 6-ton snatch ring, which obviously the truck doesn't weigh anywhere close to that. And I've got these 5-ton cage links from Gigglepin. Probably get a couple more of these, and I've got a big Terra Firma soft shackle that will go on there. But these guys sent out some stickers for the truck as well, and I can't thank those guys enough. I really want to work with both of these people more in the future. Hopefully once the budget comes up a bit, we can get ourselves a GP100 or a Hornet 2, something cool like that, or cheap Hornet 1. Ideal. Right, back to this thing then. So there it is, first side on, well, tacked on. Happy with how it looks. I've just got to now copy that exactly onto the other side the best I can. So I'll take some measurements. I've got the tube marked out for length, and then yeah, stick it on the other side, and I'll see when I've got the second one on. So as you can see, we've got both sides on, painted up. Bump stops need to come down a bit further, because as you can see, bottomed out on both shocks with the bump stops. But as you can see over here, we have a bottle of nitrogen. This is supplied to us very kindly by TFR4x4.com. You know, they help us with all our suspension and other Terra Firma goodies. But what I'm going to do now is go and get the forklift, pick the back of this up, wang some nitrogen in the shocks, and then start the tuning process. So yeah, let's get into that. So as you can see, we've picked it up with the trusty telehandler. I've got my nitrogen bottle here ready to go. So he's all, no, I need to turn him on, so he's not on yet. We'll use this one to put nitrogen in. Yeah, you meant to do it at full extension. So we're up at pretty much full extension on both sides. So I'm going to wang about 200 PSI in it, and then in each side, then put it down, see what it looks like, and rinse and repeat until we've got front and rear looking about the same. So yeah, let's get into it. It's just going to be a lot of up and down, messing about. So I'll come back to you guys once I've got it sitting about right. So progress has been made. As you can see, we're working on through the list. The fair lead's on, winch, rear winch is now on. It's kind of in the center. It's a funny shaped winch, same as like the Terra Firma one. It's got a gearbox here and a belt driver there. I believe it's a belt drive, might be gear driven, but I'm not 100% sure. Obviously shocks are on, it's sitting wonky at the moment. We've got to, what we're going to do is take the fluid out of that shock, measure it, take the fluid out of that shock and put the same amount as that shock in that shock, and then nitrogen in them again and see if we can get it to sit right, because this shock is much softer than that one. Obviously they were built at a different time. That one's been sitting in a shed a long time. Who knows how long that one's been sitting in a shed. So that one might have been tuned for something, and this is lighter than that, but you don't know until we measure it all out. So obviously I've had an incident here, so I'm going to have to go and get some crimps at some point. Air freeze spool to work out, and swap some batteries over, and that's getting the rear end somewhat up together. Obviously we need to paint this. Yeah, so let's get some more progress going. I'll catch you guys once we've got a bit more done for it. Things have escalated slightly in the build up to Red Winch Stampede. So let's have a look what we've bought. So sitting dirty on the tailgate, as you can see, is a Bow 2 powered Hornet 1. Air brake, air free spool. Yeah, I can't believe we made this happen. It's nuts really, but it does mean a lot more work on this thing to get that winch in there. Obviously where the Terra Firma one was. Terra Firma one will in due time move to the rear instead of the one that we've just fit, that you'll see, because we're still tidying up stuff. You see there's wings missing, there's half done bonnets, and now I got this big hole here, so I've got a load of cutting to do. I'll finish off cutting all of these tubes off. That plate back there I want to weld in to support the winch a bit better, and I've got to make 2 plates to mount the red winch to this front, because it's a different bolt pattern to the GP100 Terra Firma winches. But yeah, it shouldn't be too hard, I'm hoping. I've got some pieces of steel cut that are going to sit at the back, and then the winch is going to sit in. So I'm going to do some grinding, cleaning up, some marking, drilling, maybe get it tacked in place to see what it looks like, but we will soon see. I'm not going to rush it too much because we've still got a little bit of time. It is closing in fast, but I don't want to rush it and do a bad job. So yeah, let's get into this. Front plates are in for the Hornet. We just got to tidy them up, get some of this slag off, clean up that notch there, and then Dad's over here doing the plates for the back. Now we've got the tubes on and the air shocks. Progress update. Main plates to hold the winch are on. Oh god, nearly fell over the doofer here. Air free spool line is in. I've used the old line from the winch that was here. I've now got to make a new wiring loom for in and out, and also the switch down here, which I'll have one of these giggle pin switches, momentary on and off for whoever's outside, co-driver, to do what he's got to do. I'm probably going to put it on the left hand side because he's right-handed, so it'll make it a bit more comfortable for him. Also, we have the dash-in pieces. It's quite dark in here, but all the winch switches are out. Fitting a switch for the free spool for the red winch. Rear winch, air free spools plumbed up using the old solenoid that we had in the top. I got to run wires back to this for the same again controls. Dad has notched and made pretty the alley plates for the back, notched it around the new tubes and the new shocks, so that's all ready to go on. So what I'm going to do now is get on and do some more wiring. I'd like to have this winch wired up tonight, but we'll see how we get on. So back on the truck, as you can see, the winch is back off again. He's down here on the floor. We're just going to grind some stuff, paint some stuff, make some little plates to make everything nice and neat, paint it. Then we're going to stick the winch back in for the final time, and then that will be its final resting place. But all the wiring's done. All the welding for the main part is done. It's just these little vanity covers on these tubes that we've had to cut that's left to do, and then we'll sling it all back in, intercooler in. That's the front end pretty much together, aside from the plate on the right there, but that is due to be notched and fitted shortly. But yeah, let's get into it. Progress update. Obviously front winch in, tubes are painted. We've just made a strut brace for the front shock turrets. Free spool, everything's plumbed in. We've got a horn, got a switch for the winch. Things have been painted, bonnets on, painted. In here, not a lot of change. The only thing that's changed in here really is we've redone some wiring, and we've wired in the free spool switch onto my little winch control panel over there, and obviously wired in a horn. Rear bars all painted up. Right now I'm just doing the wiring on the rear winch just to have it ready to rock and roll. It's all pretty much there. I've just got to redo this, but the crimps are in my van and I don't have my van up here, so as soon as I've got that I'll get it in. It is working on a single motor currently. That's all good. We've got the bump stops set. We've got a plate in there for them to hit. That's all been lovely. It's been test driven. We've made sure it's all going to work. And I think, aside from doing brake pads and taking off that bracket down there, we are pretty much ready for Stampede. I know it's a brave thing to say because I'm sure there'll be some other stuff that's going to come up. But for the most part, apart from those little bits, change some bolts there, top up fluids, brake pads, check all the lights and stuff. I think we are there. Now, obviously, a lot of stuff didn't get filmed while we were doing this. It's simply because we've just been getting on with it, basically. I've not been a very good YouTuber these past couple of weeks to try and record what I can while we're working on this thing. But I'm going to wrap the video up here. I don't know how long it's going to be. I don't know how much B-roll I've got or anything like that. But I will see you guys in the next video when hopefully we are on our way to Red Winch Stampede. So fingers crossed nothing else goes awry on this thing and we are ready to go. So, thank you for watching. I'll see you guys when we get to Stampede.